guys, the talented artist here, and today I'm going to be drawing my OC Gemma. She's my Rise of the TMNT OC that I came up with about a year ago, I'm pretty sure. And when I say a year ago, I really mean like November of 2022. The species I chose was a crowned river turtle because I thought it looked really pretty with all the yellow stripes and stuff. And you know, a fun fact, her name is actually Genevieve because I just thought it would sound cool. I mean, you know, I did that because all the other turtles have long names, so I just, you know, did that for her. I mean, I know that theirs are actually based off of, you know, Italian artists, but I just, you know, just wanted to choose that name because I thought it sounded nice. And also, I know that Genevieve and Gemma are two completely different names, but I just thought they fit together, so yeah. And the thing about Gemma is that she actually hates her real name, Genevieve, because she thinks it sounds weird, so she just goes by Gemma. The only person who's allowed to call her by her real name is Splinter because, I mean, it only makes sense. Technically, he is kind of like her dad, so whenever I was first drawing Gemma, I wasn't sure what kind of bandana color to use, so I decided to do green, but I thought that looked really weird, like, you know, green on green, it didn't really match, so I just did pink instead, which it fits perfectly, although it does kind of make her look a lot like Mona Lisa from the 1987 series. I don't want any of you guys to get confused or anything, so I'm telling you now, this is Gemma, not the Rise version of Mona Lisa. I could try drawing that, but I don't really feel like it. She has a pretty complicated backstory. I mean, it's basically the same as everybody else's, but like, she's not related to anyone. The turtles I meant. She's not related to any of the turtles or Splinter. She was created by Baron Draxum, same as everybody else. She lived with him for 4 years, and then she got kicked out because Baron thought she was a weakling. And so she had to leave her home, kind of. And so she was just out, like for 2 days, she had to just roam the streets of New York, and it was like cold and rainy, and a lot of people just kept calling her like a freak, and she was like terrified and everything. And you know, on that same day, she actually walked into an alleyway, which looked very, you know, ominous, foreboding. Then she saw like a black figure, and she couldn't quite make out what it was until it came out, and it was a giant dog, a terrifying dog, and then it just started to chase after her. She was like, ah, oh no. I don't know, she was running for her life, and you know, she was like 4 years old, so she couldn't really run that fast. She did outrun the dog, but she ended up like falling into a manhole. Yeah, the sewers. She ended up like scraping her leg on something, and then Splinter came and noticed her. He was like, whoa, another mutant, I have no idea that another one existed, or something like that. He helped Gemma, like he took her into the lair and like helped her out and everything, like gave her clothes and like fixed her leg, knee, whatever. And you know, this was also around the time where everybody else was younger too, so yeah. And then Splinter invited her to live with them, and she said yes, so she's lived with them for a long time. Her character design kind of resembles Mikey a little bit because Mikey was my inspiration for her. You can kind of see a little bit of a resemblance in the drawing and stuff. And you know, actually, Mikey and Gemma, they're like, you know, Donnie and Leo, like inseparable. They're like best friends. And you know how all the turtles have their own like signature like shape? Like how Raph's based off of a square, Mikey's based off of a circle, Donnie's based off of a rectangle, and Leo's based off of a triangle. Gemma is supposed to be based off of a heart. And while everybody else's like markings kind of resemble their shapes, Gemma's does not, making her pretty unique. I wasn't sure how to draw heart-shaped markings for her. It didn't really work, so I just decided to do, you know, stripes and circles, which you will see later in the video. I'm just explaining it now because, I don't know, I felt like I needed to. Okay, now this is where it gets complicated because her relationship with the turtles and Splinter, it's kind of hard to explain. She's not really their sister, she's more like their best friend, but sometimes, like, Leo calls her like a little sister sometimes, but like they mostly view her as like a friend. a best friend. She's not related to anyone. She actually has a crush on Raph. I don't know, I just thought it would be interesting to do something like that. Look, I don't even know what I would call her. She could be considered, I don't know, what would, she could be labeled as best friend / girlfriend / sister. I don't know, something. Just keep that in mind, she's not actually their sister, okay? She's 14 years old, just like Leo and Donnie at the beginning of the series. She turns 16 in the movie, because like there's a 2-year time skip, and so, you know. I didn't mean to make her the same age as Leo and Donnie, I just kind of base it off of my own age. I mean, what probably would have worked better is 12, but I don't really consider that a teen, so, you know, I just went with 14, which is the age I was at the time of drawing her. And whenever I draw OCs, I take it very seriously. I like try so hard to make it sound like she's a canon character, even though sometimes, most of the time, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Deciding her weapon was actually pretty hard because it felt like all the good ones were being taken, so I just decided to go with a sledgehammer, which I know isn't a very traditional or stealthy ninja weapon, but, you know, I thought it would be cool, and it is cool. The mystic abilities that her sledgehammer has is she can actually change the size of it, so she can make it like really huge or really small, which actually helps it make it more stealthy, so, you know, she doesn't have to carry a giant hammer around. And you know how all the other turtles have, you know, their signature weapons like sais, katanas, nunchucks, and a bow staff. Gemma, she just always had a sledgehammer. She didn't have any other weapon previously, except for like a very small like mallet, but that wasn't really that effective, so yeah. When she found her mystic weapon, she actually, you know, obviously like all the others, stuck with it for a while until I think the Shredder fight. When it got upgraded, the new ability was that it could like emit like fire or electricity. Yeah, electricity. Blue electricity, which isn't much, but it makes it look cooler at least. She's like my most favorite character to draw. I mean, you know, because I created her. Anyways, if you liked this video, go ahead and like it and subscribe and put on the channel post notifications. You know what I mean. Share this with everyone. It's really cool. Bye.